Hey guys, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another edition of FaceTime with Todd Wharton. I'm your host, Todd Wharton. Hope everybody's doing great out there. As you could see, I got my football jersey on because tonight I am interviewing a great lady, CEO of an amazing organization, and I'm excited to have her on. Can't wait to start chopping it up with her. But let's talk about a couple of things today before we bring her on. So it's been in the news. People are talking about Bill Cosby again, and pretty much they're talking about whether they should honor him or give him credit for pretty much a lot of the black history and entertainment. And I will say this, I do not agree with obviously why, he's in jail. I agree that he's in jail, but I don't agree with what he did. And, but if you really want to talk about the past, Bill Cosby definitely had a positive impact, not only on the black community in entertainment, but also just in TV in general. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up watching the Cosby Show. I couldn't get enough of it. To me, I didn't even know what a rerun was because every episode was just so amazing. And I just really couldn't wait to be just watching it every day. It was just great. And then on top of that, I was a little fat kid, so I had some pudding snacks and a little Jello, a little gelatin pops going on, which is awesome. But I don't think so much that we should celebrate him, but we have to show him his due respect when it came to TV, right? He was an icon. Still always be an icon. But we obviously can't take away from his other life, which has put him behind bars. So Bill Cosby, I don't wish anything bad on humans, but dude, you're doing your time because you did the crime. Let's just keep it moving. But you are definitely one of the greats in TV, and I'll give you that as well. All right. In other news, we all saw what's going on with Governor Cuomo right now. I spoke about it yesterday. Again, sexual harassment. It's becoming like this popular thing. Guys, again, enough with the crap. If you don't have game, leave your hands off people. You know what I'm saying? It's like respect women. And that's what this show tonight is going to be about. Respect women. Women are equals. Women deserve equal rights. Women deserve everything that men has. And I shouldn't even be talking about this because at the end of the day, we're human. We're equal. Period. That's it. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are a lot of things that I can't do that a woman can kick my ass in. So I'm just saying, guys, just represent straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, I want to bring on a great lady. She has created this amazing organization, and it's called the WFLA, which is Women's Football League Association. And I had a chance to chat with her earlier, but let's bring her on. And founder of the WFLA. I'm excited to talk to this lady, and we're going to have a great night tonight on FaceTime with Todd Wharton. Lupe, how you doing?
Hey, Todd, how are you?
I'm great. Welcome to FaceTime with Todd Wharton. I'm happy to have you on tonight.
Hey, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I try to do little stuff here and there during the previews because I can't play music. I always mention it. IG just knocks me off. Every time I try to play something good, they knock me off. Al Green, I get knocked off. Frank
Right.
Sinatra. I can't do no wrong. It's just messed up. Instagram doesn't want you to have a good time. Just messed up.
I know.
Just
Hey,
messed
ladies,
up.
it feels so good to connect to our audience. We haven't been on in so long, so it's so good to see our ladies coming on. So I just want to acknowledge them and say hello. I even see my girl, track baby, Santia Deck. I see her on here too. So Linksy, just feels good to see everybody, connect with everybody on IG.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you again, Todd, for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I see them all coming on. I'm glad everybody's coming on. I love talking to barrier breakers, people making history, making a difference. What excites me about being a talk show host, and this is the first time we're actually meeting kind of face to face, I guess you can call it. But it's an honor. I'll mention briefly, we met through a very good friend of mine. that referred me to you, Miss Colette V. Smith. As everybody knows, Colette is a wonderful woman, and she is a huge barrier breaker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if you saw on the news. I think it was on GMA. They were interviewing one of the pro football coaches, and it said on the headlines, first female football. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, somebody better check that. See, I don't understand this, and this happens in all industries. The person that actually breaks barriers for some reason, and it really has to do with who's their publicist, right? Who's their manager,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but there is something along the lines of lying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
right, ladies, please throw me some love and tell me that, because Colette is the first female, not only female, but African American female football coach in the history of the NFL.
100%. And
New York
you
Jets.
know, you have to be able to you have to be able to acknowledge that, though. You know, it's like when people come to me and, you know, they praise our efforts, and they, you know, always say, hey, you know, Lupe, the first woman, you know, to launch a women's football league. I have to give props where props are due. And, you know, the WFA has done it before me. The WNFC has done it before me. They're still striving to get to the finish line. I think that one of the good things about all of us is that we're all fighting for women's equality. And so you can't knock that. I've said it before, you know, collaboration over competition. And what stands out to me is that before the NFL joined forces, you know, with these other leagues, they were all separate. They were all great at what they did. So for me, it's about, you know, we can have two amazing leagues that are advancing women's football, you know. So, but no, I agree with you 100%. It bothers me too that people want that recognition of being the first. You know, I could be the last in what I do. I just want to be able to do it for women, and to also be a part of history and a part of that legacy build. I don't have to be the first. I can be the last. It doesn't matter to me, as long as we all get there. And that's what it's about.
You hit it right on the head. And I'm going to tell you something right now. So many women and men are joining this conversation right now. And I want to really give a shout out to every woman that's on this thing, every football player. I'm excited to see you guys rock it. I'm excited to see you guys just bring forth a new generation of amazing athletes. That's going to open up the doors to sponsors, endorsements, more jobs. Like, people don't get it. It's not just the breaking barriers apart. You're really going to be creating a plethora of jobs around the country.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing a lot.
And I think that too, what we forget is, you know, you can build a house, but if you build a house on sand, it's just going to fall and crumble, right? So I think that one of the things that the WFLA is doing differently is that we're you know, building a solid foundation, and we have already 6 states that are allowing us to build our arenas. Now, this is definitely the first in history that we will have women-built football arenas that are meant just for the WFLA, and our entertainment base of what the entertainment base of what we do alongside the gameplay. So that's going to be phenomenal to see women football, you know, not only the league, but to also have their own, you know, their own fields. And along with those fields, we're building additional assets for these ladies. So it feels really good to be able to say that.
And I'm sure sometimes when you talk about this thing, it probably just takes you back that this is actually a reality.
Yeah.
Because we all know, when you try to do something like this, the obstacles that are in front of you are 95% no's, if at least.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know, for some reason, I don't know what the world is afraid of when it comes to all diversities of people and races and genders. I don't know what the scared part of it is. It's like, to me, the more boundaries broken, the more opportunities, the more great things that can come for everybody, just makes us such better human beings. you know?
Absolutely.
And who wants to live in a world where it's black and white and all men and that's it? It's
Yep.
pretty pathetic. And I was mentioning before the show that the one thing about women that differentiate from men, and I'm sure some of my boys here be like, "Yo, Tom, man, next time I see you, me and you, we ain't boys." But but to be honest with you, men, not for the most part, just some procrastinate. There are some men because we were given certain things when we were born, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel women get more stuff done because of some of the struggles trying to create that equality, which shouldn't have never happened anyway. But
Absolutely.
when it comes to sports, getting the job, getting this done, getting that done, there's a certain perseverance that I think men should strive to be. When you have to earn the right to get something, you appreciate it more. And women right now, you guys are kicking ass all over the world, man.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
but
And I
but
freaking love it.
when you think about it though, it's almost unfortunate that we had to get here, through the avenues in which we have. Because prior to you were talking about Bill Cosby, and let's keep it transparent. Prior to
Right.
Bill Cosby being incarcerated, we had the whole R. Kelly situation and other exposure being placed on some prominent and dominant figures, and some political figures, and then people started recognizing women. Then you
Right.
have the women's soccer that had to sue for equal pay after they won the World Cup. So you have Billie Jean King, who had to play co-ed tennis,
That's right.
in the 70s in order for her to participate in a sport that she absolutely loves. So when we talk about advancing women's football, it's not about me advancing this sport. It's about advancing all women collectively into a place where it's long overdue, and it's so deserving of us to be in this space. Now it's like almost a fad, and we're popular. We're here by popular demand. When women own the economy, I say this all the time. We own the economy. 87% of the economy belongs to us. We build this economy. We are the shoppers. We are the moms. We are the women that advance the world. And it's unfortunate that it's taken all this time. And let's not talk about a Black woman. Let's not talk about a Black gay woman. Let's not talk about a Black transsexual woman. All of the odds are against women when you're trying to build an infrastructure or a business. So, and shouts out to all my LGBTQ and just every industry of women that are trying to fight to launch a business, or still trying to advance their own business, whether it's sports or any other business. Because being an entrepreneur for the last 20 plus years, it's really difficult sometimes when you don't have that support system. And we talked about the exposures. So a lot of times women have to sleep their way to the top just to get to the top. And it's unfortunate that we've had to minimize and lower our standards and deal with that, just to be a part of that entrepreneurship or that economic society.
Yeah, and you should never, ever, nobody should ever, no matter what gender, have to lower your standards. That's a
Yep.
choice,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Imagine if you had to lower your standards based on who you married.
Yeah.
Like, just think of that. Like, oh, you can't marry this person because they're too rich for you or they're too
Right.
good looking for you. So you're going to be in this bracket. If that's the case, we should all just wear masks and never go out again.
Yeah.
Because
But it's
that's
the
where it
truth.
got to.
But even interracial, we still to this day deal with that interracial disparity, or those relationships, and the disparity of interracial marriages and the things that you have to go through when you are a mixed couple raising mixed children. I see my business partner; she deals with that all the time. So there's still a lot we still need to grow as a society, and we're still looking for acceptance along the way.
Exactly.
But back to the original topic. I have to just really thank you as a man being here supporting a women's league and giving us a platform and giving us a voice, and sharing with your viewers and the people that are logging in today, and sharing that with them about the WFLA and our goal for the future of women's football.
Of course. And we're going to keep talking. We spoke offline. This is not going to be the first time. You know, we're going to speak to other people in the league, you know, some of the owners, because I'm definitely not only providing a platform for all celebrities, but also the up and comer, you know, just in general. That's what this show is all about. And I'm on it. And how can I not honor women? Like, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't even be here. Like, you know, I mean, my dad was a part of it, but let's cut the bull crap. Like most guys, just give them a couple of seconds and bam, we got a baby coming out.
Cute.
You know what I'm saying?
My dad was a part of it.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Dad, I appreciate you, you know, having one of those wet dreams, and Mom just happened to be there. So I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely.
But there is a lot going. First of all, I got to show you some love because I had to wear a football jersey to this interview.
Okay.
I played one season. I played one season of football. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I played one season of football, but it was split into 2 seasons.
Okay.
I'll explain that. So when I was playing the first time, I made the team, and I go, bro, and I brought my brother downstairs. I'm like, I gotta show you all the stuff that we were doing. And I was like, hut, and I tripped. And I fell into the stairs and broke 3 of my fingers. So I was out for the season.
Wow.
And then the second year, I actually scored a touchdown as a linebacker. But during the season, I got my hand caught in some of these face masks, and my whole wrist went and broke. And from then on, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to start playing tag football and hosting Super Bowl parties. I don't think it's for me. You know?
That's funny.
But the WFLA, and I have to apologize, I made a great promo, but I didn't realize I said World Football, and I had to correct that into saying it's Women's Football League Association.
That is correct.
I'm going to get that right.
It's all good.
So getting to you now, this is obviously a very personal thing with you because nobody just creates something out of this. Nobody says, hey, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to create a football league for women. You never hear that, all right? It has to be a very passionate thing. And every woman in this league has to be passionate about playing football. They probably really are. So I have to assume you always wanted to play when you were younger. When you were a kid, did you grow up in a football family?
No, I didn't. Quite the opposite. You play yard football. I had 2 brothers, so we played, flag and football down the street, up the street. I lived in the neighborhood, so we played as kids with each other. I was always picked, first draft. I was always picked. Come on, because I was a little roughneck, with my brothers, and they always picked me because they knew that I could run fast, but. No, it was not a passion of mine originally. It wasn't until I saw Tony Harris, and shouts out to Tony Harris and Santia Deck also. And I actually saw Santia grow up and seen her athleticism and just thought she was a phenomenal athlete. And then I saw Tony Harris in the news, and she was challenging women's football and challenging the NFL to play, and she had just gotten her scholarship and her D1 scholarship, and I thought, wow, I hope I never see her play with the NFL. And it was not out of hatred. It was just literally, I don't want to see co-ed football, number one, and number two is I felt like we needed something of our own. And so as I started researching women's football, I noticed that there's several leagues when you do the research. There's so many of them. And so I actually, I went to my commissioner and my boy, Brandon Shelby, and I said, hey, what do you think if we launch this women's football league? He's like, oh, that would be crazy. So we started kind of toying with the idea. And then I challenged him and I said, well, hey, look, put it together, because I run several other businesses. And I said, put it together and get back to me. And when I tell you about the intricacy of what he developed and put together and named every team, and came to me and told me exactly how he felt about the gameplay. And then we talked about the other leagues. And I said, well, who's got what? Where are they playing? What do they own? I would like to go see a women's football game. And then notice that there was no uh, just domination in that industry. There was no assets, and so I couldn't just go out and buy a ticket on Eventbrite or Ticketmasters and go to a women's football game, although those leagues existed. So then, as research continued, I just kind of noticed that there is the business structure or the business model absent from the gameplay. And so what I learned was that there's a lot of athletes, or there were several athletes that were passionate about the game who then developed their own leagues, like Odessa Jenkins. I think she's phenomenal. She was an amazing athlete, and she created the WNFC. And same thing with Lisa Nelson. She, an athlete, created the WFA. And so, kudos and shouts out to them. Then I thought, well, I don't come from that athletic perspective. However, I come from a business mind and a business perspective. I build things. You can tell me that you want to sell, some type of beard cream, and we will make it go and be the best beard cream on the market. That's just what I do. It's what I build. And so I thought, well, what if I created this league and built the foundation of the assets and the profit centers to provide women with opportunities, not only for gameplay, but also to earn a salary, to provide them with insurance, and to provide them with other amazing assets that would not only enhance the gameplay, but provide the total fan experience. So we also implemented A-list entertainment to perform at every single game. Every single game will mimic a Super Bowl. And then I created a draft games, the fantasy football element, so that women can earn additional salaries, and you can actually bet on women's football. And the beautiful thing about that is, in creating draft games, we've also implemented women's hockey, women's basketball, and other athletic organizations that can participate in fantasy sports that DraftKings didn't implement. So in creating those assets and those profit centers, I just felt if we build a big business and make it believable, and make people understand that this is something that should be done, women should be playing football, and they should be getting paid for it. They should have insurance. They should have all of the things that their male counterparts have. And so that's what I've done. I've come in and I built the foundation and built the structure of women's football. And I'm very proud of what we built. I'm still working with, and now I've started talking to the NFL in collaboration with the NFL. I've spoken to and working with Stan Wilcox over at the NCAA about implementation of women's football at the collegiate level. I'm talking to the HBCUs, the president and vice president at the HBCUs with the introduction of women's football. In addition to the, to Greg Sankey and Charlie Husey over at the SEC, and with the implementation of women's football there. So for me, it's not just about taking the ladies out and putting them on the field and allowing them to play. Anybody could do that, as you can see. It's about building that infrastructure, making it solid, profitable, so that not only these ladies, but their kids, their nieces, and other little girls that dream of playing football will have the same opportunities that we are staging for at this time.
Wow. In most interviews, I usually look for the break where I interject. I don't even want to interject you because I love everything that you're saying.
I appreciate
I hate when talk show people interject people because they want to throw their 2 cents in. But what you're saying right now is just flowing, and it's powerful, and it needs to be said. And it's pretty much co-signing why these ladies are signed on. Now, we spoke about it briefly. It was more me talking about it. There were some leagues that I saw online, and I wasn't too happy about the way they went about it. And we both understand, I understand now after speaking with you, that there wasn't a lot of outlets for women to play football. And when these leagues were created, I don't think they were done with the best intentions, in my opinion, as a man. I think it was done as more of a show because that's whoever created the league was probably thinking, well, how are we going to get guys to watch this game, watching women play football, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I saw this thing and I'm watching, they're wearing jerseys with G-strings. And I'm sure some of your players that are playing on your league now played there.
Yeah.
And they probably did it because it was pretty much the only outlet they had. And that was going back to bringing down your standards to do something that, you know, you really love to do. What I love about what you're doing now is you're pretty much telling women, listen, we get why you did it. You wanted to play football. It was the only outlet there. But you know what? No woman in the world who wants to play the sport that they love to play should have to be a sex symbol based on how men perceive them to be as a football player. Because if you're a football player, get your pads, get your helmet, get your cleats, get everything. And at the end of the day, if a man wants to see you in what you really look like, then they better step their game up and earn a date.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what
earn the right to have her take off that helmet and be like, how you doing?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my attitude because me personally, I love women to death, but I love a stronger woman that looks great and does great no matter what she does. And if I want to get to the next level, then I got to earn the rights how to find a way to get that helmet off. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. I love
that's the way I step to that.
That's right. That's real sexy too, Todd. That was
thank you. Yo, thank you. You could use that in the thing. I'll be honest with you. I've never told anybody I dated a football player, so now I can change the rules, right?
I love it.
Because 10 years ago, if I went to my father and he's like, "Who you dating now?" "Yo, Dad, I'm dating a football player." He'll be like, "What?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I was actually going for a tight end, but now I'm a wide receiver. I'm just letting you know."
Hey. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love
it. Okay. So, a lot of great stuff. So where did you come up with the name WFLA? Because obviously when you create a business, the first thing in your head is, what do we call it? Right? So there's probably a lot of copyright things that you had to go through. So where did the 4 letters came from?
Well, the Women's Football League Association, and because other football leagues do exist, to be honest with you, I just, in full transparency, I thought that at some point, and maybe it still might happen, I will be the foundation and the overseer of women's football, and those other leagues will be under the umbrella. That's always been the mindset and the concept, that we will have the organization, and then you have both your Eastern Conference and your Western Conference. That was always the thought process. But then as speaking to those other leagues, and again, I'm not here to, demean or
no, of course not,
lower them, but after speaking to them, I think that our visions still haven't come together, and we have to be able to come together in order for us to progress together. But nevertheless, as it stands, we created the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference under the WFLA's umbrella. And until that time, if that time ever happens, that's how it will stand. The WFLA will be the mothership, and then we have both the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference that we oversee. So I just, as an association, we know what type of roles an association plays in an organization. They are the overseer. They are the branch that kind of like keeps things together. And as a business builder, that's the process. You want to be that association. I want to, we also created the Women's Football League Union as well. So we do have a union. We will be unionized. And so there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. This organization has to be the foundation that sets women's football apart. It just has to be. And having said that, each and every asset that we built and profit center for these ladies, it plays a very significant role. A union, we have to bring the ladies together. They have to have a voice. They have to be able to come to the league and tell the league what's going on, how they feel, you know, whether it's about insurance, whether it's about their pay, whether it's a lack of equality, something that we don't know about, whatever their concerns are, they have to be able to share those with us. And so we created and built the union. But that was kind of like the nature of the why with the WFLA, the Women's Football League Association.
Yeah, and I love it. And I was mentioning it before, and it's going to just keep getting bigger because having a women's football league, right? It's automatically going to mess with the NFL, whether they want to or not, which obviously they do. But not only are you going to open up, like we said, jobs, but coaching jobs and special assistant jobs. It's going to show the NFL that there are so many women that are qualified for all the jobs that the NFL offers. So not only will they become professional coaches in the women, you're now going to see more in the NFL. You're going to see more referees, you know, everybody, which is amazing. And you're going to start seeing, I guarantee you, cross-promotion of both leagues. Like, I will not be surprised if I see a Nike commercial. You know what I'm saying? And you got Tom Brady coming in, and then you got your top quarterback in your league doing the same commercial, something funny and stupid during the Super Bowl.
Like deflating, like ball deflation, right? Like deflating balls or something. That would.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was a low blow.
Stupid. No, but it's true though. Like this, like we may not think about it at the time, but something like this can truly open up. You've already went up to a door and knocked that bitch down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But by doing that, you opened up millions of dominoes effects of doors in terms of endorsements, marketing, jobs, cross promotion, equality, women's rights, more public speakers, more ESPN commentators, and it just goes off the chain, you know. And it's going to bring the NFL people. You may get a coach in the NFL that make it sick of the NFL and be like, you know what? I just won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go rock a Super Bowl in the women's league.
Yeah, like Andy Reid, you mean? Andy,
yeah.
Actually, Andy Reid's my boy. He's also from California, and I'm a huge Chiefs fan. So that's like a dream come true. But you know, I've been. My ladies don't understand. For my team, I'm the organizer, but I own the Los Angeles Flames, and I've been holding off on my coaching staff, and the girls are like, why? Because I just have to have beast mode. You know, I just have to bring in the best of the best coaches that are out there for our ladies. We don't want to just have a mediocre women's football organization that guys are looking at us and saying, oh, they're just playing football. I would love to have somebody of the caliber of an Andy Reid where, you know, the men are questioning and saying, oh shit, well this just may be real because they have so and so. But also in speaking in terms of, we talked about Colette when we opened up, you know, and her being the first female African-American female coach for the NFL. Those are the type of women that we want to attract as well. I have a young girl, I think I've seen her on here, Minnie. She coaches boys football right now. So, you know, these are the women that I'm looking to continue to grow the league outside of their gameplay. Or if in fact they feel like I want to hang up my cleats and, you know, I want to come and coach, they'll have opportunities now coaching women's football. And that's, I think those are also the barriers that we want to break, that we want to bring in women coaches and, like you said, women commentators and things of that nature as well.
Yeah, and I know what the best part that I love what you're saying, and I forgot all about it. This league is going to give you the opportunity to have spokespeople from your league, from all teams, to speak to every high school, and let these ladies know that there is a place now for you to play ball. Absolutely. Not just watching on TV.
Have you been following?
And they'll love it.
Following at all? Have you been following Nike and the NFL?
I've been following it for Nike
Yeah.
itself. I've been
Yeah, so
following a lot of.
Nike and the NFL recently announced this year they are playing girls high school flag or high school. The high school age will be playing flag football. NFL's endorsing it, and you have the team. So far, I heard of the Steelers and the Jets that have come out with their own teams that will be playing these young girls, football, flag football, which is really cool. And I feel like it's a step in the door, a step in the right direction. I am speaking to Troy Vincent. Actually, I have a meeting with him next weekend. When speaking to Troy, I'm like literally pouring my heart out. I'm like, Troy, these girls we speak, just talking about the NFL. He's like, well, how much do you want to share? How much are you willing to give me? How much are you willing to talk about? Because, they still see themselves as a competitor, which makes me feel really good. But at the same time, he asked, do women really, and Lupe, in your honest opinion, do women really play tackle football? I was dumbfounded. I was like, Troy, how could you ask me that? When the NFL is holding, conferences and doing things with girls in full pads playing football. Like, was that I left
That's just an ignorant. That's an ignorant question. That's just an ignorant question. Do women actually tackle each other?
Yeah.
I wonder what type of life you have, brother, where you don't even know that. Like, seriously? Right? Like, I don't want to be with the woman if she don't know how to tackle. I'm just leaving it like that,
Absolutely.
That's crazy, that type of question. And by the way, I think your New York Stars should be in the NFL for a year, and the Jets should be the flag team until they flip that script.
That's funny.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you know what? I'm loving this. We're going to get into another thing. But you know what I noticed a lot? People, especially male chauvinists, are seeing more and more sports come out. And they're just not agreeing with it. You're always going to have the thing. And they're like, oh, it's a man's world. And I keep telling these guys, I'm like, listen, you want me to be real? Let's be real. It's a man's world.
Yep.
But it don't mean nothing without that prenup. I'm just saying. It don't mean nothing without that prenup. So get that mindset out of your head, because they ain't signing it, and they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
but you recently, I did some research. You just got a new sponsor, a huge sponsor, Veritech. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, explain to some of the people if they're not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, no, Veritech is a dope company. They're a publicly traded company, and Veritech makes technology. They actually have made and service NASA and the space shuttle Endeavour with their 2D barcode system, and they do all the coding, the laser coding that goes on the space shuttle. Ironically enough, I have a relationship with the CEO there, and she called me up and she said, hey, I'm launching this COVID passport and COVID ID, and I understand you have a football league and you need to get girls here. And with this whole pandemic and with the travel bans, she said, I want to help you bring your ladies to the state. So I'm really excited. And not only that, they also own a financial technology. They're getting ready to launch some cryptocurrency. It's a really big thing, but they're also going to, their technology will also service our payroll system. Ladies will get their paychecks right on their phone. They'll get a hit. It's sort of like if you think of like your Cash App on steroids or your Venmo on steroids. It's a very, very intricate financial platform that they have, in addition to the COVID passport and the COVID ID and keeping our women safe. So I'm really, really excited about the relationship with Veritech and what they're doing for our ladies. This sponsorship is really, really, really big, and I'm excited that they're on board.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment. So I got to clap it up for everything you're doing so far.
Thank you.
Wait. The crowd's going wild.
Yeah. You're supposed to have your keyboard right there, Todd. You're supposed to push the button and
I got it here, but you know what it is? Every time I play a damn sound, whether it's a song,
You got
whatever.
flagged, huh?
Like, watch, we're gonna have a great interview. I'm gonna play a crowd, and Instagram's gonna be like, "Sorry, that's copyright of
Right.
crowd.com."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? So I gotta give my Michael
Yeah.
Winslow Police Academy, like,
I
gotta give the
appreciate
crowd
that.
noise.
Yeah.
That's my COVID crowd. That's my
Yeah, I
COVID crowd.
love it. I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's something else that you guys. I mean, every time I go through the list of a lot of the accomplishments you do, it just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And you've already developed a Hall of Fame for the football players.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because it takes years for any football player in the NFL just to even be considered. You guys already. Where's the Hall of Fame located right now?
Well, right now, our first awards event is going to be in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. We have an amazing relationship there. But just to clarify, Todd, your comment, you're right. Takes years to become a Hall of Famer, and I think that's the reason why we created the Women of Football Hall of Fame, is because women have been playing football since 1926. Actually, the NFL owned the first women's professional football team, and it was called the Yellow Frankfurters. They were owned by the NFL in 1926. And I know the granddaughter of one of the ladies that used to play. I actually met her when I was launching the league and doing my research. Right. So, when she actually, she reached out, she said, you know what, I want to thank you for doing what you're doing, because my grandmother or my great grandmother, one of them, she said, played women's football back in the day. And she would she said, I know you're making her smile in heaven. And I thought, wow, why hasn't she been recognized? She played professional football. So I want to take this opportunity, and I want to do them women justice that have played, almost 100 years ago, played professionally and still didn't get their due diligence. The women that have, I was speaking to the mayor of Hawaii because we're contemplating a Hawaii team. And I was speaking to the mayor of Oahu, and he said, Lupe, he said, I've coached. He said, this intrigues me. He's 70-something years old. He said, I'm so intrigued by this because I've coached football for 30 years prior to launching my political career. He said, what's ironic is that I've coached college football, and in coaching college football, I remembered, he said the lady's name. He said she was the first woman referee. He said, and they never mentioned her name at the NFL. He said they never mentioned her name or give her accolades. And so I said, you have to send me her name because she's one that we have to honor. So these are the things that I think that right now we're so caught up in the first that we don't even know that the women who have come before us that didn't get that recognition, that have been the first, that probably don't have a voice to say, hey, wait, I was the first. Because they didn't recognize women in the NFL or women's sports, even awesome. From the inside. So,
and I like how you're saying Hawaii. Like, people sometimes forget Hawaii's a state, guys. It's not a tourist attraction. Yep. And it's pretty weird, right, that the NFL does does the Pro Bowl there every year, but there's not an NFL team.
Right.
Like, that's a little weird to me. I can understand if you did the Pro Bowl in Paris or something, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you want to fly out there like for an away game. Right. But, I mean, that's just weird. And by the way, just do a break. If you guys are tuning in, I am speaking with Lupe Rose, the CEO and founder of WFLA. You can find him on Instagram at WFLA Football, and I'll take you to the website and the whole nine. I'm Todd Wharton of FaceTime with Todd Wharton. You can find me at Todd Wharton Official, WHARTON. I'm not only a talk show host, I am also a civil rights activist. You can see me with Ben Crump and a lot of great people on the news. And I run New York City's Peace Concert. So I do a lot of stuff that we're going to be making an announcement this summer, a big announcement.
That's awesome. And
thank you. Now back to the show, because that's my little ad.
Yep.
Gotta get the people to remind us the way to find you.
Absolutely.
Of course. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
Well, let me
We're back
chime
in.
in because I see, I see some people that are asking for details of the season, and
Sure.
I will not speak in terms of the season details in this interview. I'll give it another week or so, and we will fully detail. We will speak individually to each team, and we'll be rolling out the details of this season in the next. I actually have a meeting tomorrow with my Los Angeles fames, and we're going to be rolling out the details of the season collectively with all of the teams across the board. But I do want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
We are working on getting our ladies here, and we are looking at building the most solid infrastructure of women's professional football. And in doing so, I cannot and will not allow the stresses of, sometimes women are so anxious to want to hit that field. And with COVID-19 still being very active, actually, I lost 6 people this weekend. 6 that hit home very, very closely. That really, and I know Lynx is on here, and just shouts out to you, Lynx. It's just so devastating when you lose people that are close to home. So anyway, we are working on the details of the league. I have one final meeting with the NFL next week that will detail everything. I've already met with our state, our government, and I'm just meeting with them next. And so I have to respectfully give that last meeting with them, and then we will roll out a press release about how and when and all the good stuff.
Yeah. And you're obviously a very smart, intelligent, double standard businesswoman. I know a lot of these women on here want to play like right now. They're probably aching. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about this. I would love to see them perform this year as well and play. And I say perform because it's a performance, not only just a sport, but you're performing a talent as well. And football is a part of that. Me personally, I would definitely rather see you guys open a season in 2022. And the only reason why I'm saying that is we're already seeing all the sports start opening and then games canceled, open, canceled. Because it's a women's league, everything has to be done with the fine-tooth comb.
Yep.
Like we learned from a league of our own, they had so many struggles that they had to deal with, and they got really lucky that the league lasted on what it did. It's because the women in the league really stepped up and really made it into an entertainment, but a great sport. I want to see this league just take off from the get-go. I don't want to see COVID where you have a couple of games in October and then let's just say COVID has a spike again, which I really don't foresee it happening. But if it does, it's going to shut the league down, which is the worst thing that can happen.
Right.
I want to see this league just take off, you know? And I think
I
it will. I think you have enough ladies on here that have been waiting for so much.
Yeah.
I'd rather every woman wait until we're good to go because I don't want to see any player get sick based on they're anxious to play.
Yep.
Celebrate one more year with your family, and then when 2022, kicking in the high gear and kick the crap out of the sports.
We have some amazing sponsors as well that are looking.
I think your volume's low a little.
Oh, okay. I said we have some amazing sponsors as well that are looking for that same opportunity for 2022. They're asking us to push the season back, but after speaking to the NFL and to Troy, I have to provide them with that last meeting, prior to what we were going to, do our launch. And so I'm going to do that. However, I can say this, when we do launch, it will be the best thing for our athletes. I have been working with the government to try to get them all vaccinated. Some ladies don't want to get vaccinated. I have to respect that. And our government said, they have to stand in line like everyone else. And when it's their turn, it's their turn. So, the odds have been against us. However, we've been pushing through. We're still building. And we will still continue to build in the event that we do push it back. We will still have a full promotion to some degree this year. And we will, start our commercial schedules of what's coming, and everything else will still fall into place gracefully, I'm more than sure, should we have to push back.
Yep, and I love it. And the best way to keep this going until the league starts, and I think you know and all the ladies know because you've been doing it, is talk. It's
Yep.
basically it's just like racism. It's talking about it every day that there's
Yep.
inclusion, belonging, and
Yep.
diversity in life, and it needs to
Yep.
be talked about every day. And this
Absolutely.
league needs to be promoted and talked about by
Yep.
every player
Yep.
that's getting the opportunity to play. And obviously, you have a platform right here that you can talk about it all the time with all your coaches and the whole nine, because this show is just taking off. I
Yep.
already have a studio that wants to take this already that I'm speaking
Yep.
to next week. So we're here for you, and New York's here for you, and we love it. I mean, New York is the most equality state out there. We celebrate every heritage, every woman, every race, every creed, every sexual
Hey
preference,
Todd, we are
and we got you.
we've been given the opportunity to build an arena in New York, and we will also be building one in New Jersey. And get this, and Tamika Dixon, who is a Hall of Famer, she's she played for the WNBA. She owns our New Jersey team. She was on the call in the meeting where they asked us to specifically place our arena in Atlantic City. So to boost the economy there, to bring jobs to Atlantic City, and to revive Atlantic City. So I'm excited that we'll be building an arena in New York and New Jersey, and
Yeah, me
namely
too.
Atlantic City. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I got to get season tickets.
Hey, I got you. That's a given.
Yeah, I
100%.
mean, I would love to go to the games and bring some of my friends and check it out and
Yep.
just enjoy a new type of sport. I can just add it to my roster of the Knicks, the Nets, the Mets. I
Yes.
want to say the Jets. I mean, I'm a fan. It's
Hey,
like,
I want to say something right quick because I saw my New Jersey, I'm sorry, my Dames, the South Carolina Dames on here, and I saw the Gators, and they're both having. I know they're launching a scrimmage game in June against each other, and I also know that they're having a combine. I believe it's on the 15th or 13th. Forgive me for not knowing the exact date, but please go to the WFLA, look through the profile and see that we posted it. They are looking for athletes. So please, ladies, if you have friends that want to play football, they want to play professionally and they want to get paid, let them know that they're having a combine and hosting a combine. So if you guys want to participate, get in touch with the South Carolina Dames, and I'm sure they want to hear from you.
I love it. I love it. Well, we have a couple minutes left before I fade out and talk about the next show and everything. Is there anything inspirational? I mean, I could talk to you for hours. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Is there, that's why I want to have you back. Is there really anything inspirational you would like to say, not only to your athletes, but to the people watching, just about everything going on right now? We're all going through it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know why all this negative crap is coming out. Unfortunately, it's always been there. We just
Mm-hmm.
happen to have somebody who just lit the flame of a fire that was just waiting to erupt. But if
Yep.
there's something that you could say to everybody that can inspire them and inspire me, I'd love to hear it.
Well, Todd, I just, we inspire each other. I appreciate the opportunity to see a man of your caliber assisting us just with our voice today. But it's such a cliche for me to say don't give up. But at the same time, it's so profound. And I'll use the analogy of the gold miner, digging,
Hmm.
digging, not realizing he was 3 feet away from his gold before he turned around and gave up. Don't allow your thoughts to get in the way of your progress. And sometimes we allow our anxiety to get in the way of us moving forward. We start with the self-doubt. And so, if I could just leave something positive, that just keep on, keeping on, keep going. If I can continue to fight through this, I mean, we've had 4 locations that have been closed down, and, been through COVID is affected us personally, and we're still fighting to the finish line, and we're still getting there. just keep on keeping on, and we will definitely, things are going to get better, and I think things are going to get better for our country, and things are going to get better for each other. Stay masked up, stay safe. I love you, ladies. I love you guys. Todd, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you. I know you got 3 minutes left to talk about your next show, but I just want to say thank you to everybody, and thanks again for the opportunity.
No, of course. It was my pleasure. Such an honor to speak with you today and to meet all these great women on here. Now you can follow her again, everybody, at WFLA Football on Instagram. There you can go right to the website and you can find out everything about this beautiful lady and what she's been doing for not just women, but for men as well, because whatever women go through in a positive way, that hits us home too. And we appreciate that. Coming up this week, we do the show, FaceTime with Todd Wharton, Monday through Friday, celebrities and inspirational people from around the world, 5 days a week right here on Instagram. Okay? You can follow me at Todd Wharton Official, and which would be a great, great time, great interview. Tomorrow night, we have a legend, well, becoming a legend, Grammy Award winner Keon Harrell, trumpeter, who you guys know, he's the father of the child who got racially profiled by stealing a cell phone at the Ala Hotel. He's going to be here tonight speaking not only about music, he just performed with D'Angelo, but about racial profiling in the system. And then Friday, please, everybody, mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. We all know Coming to America is coming out on Amazon Prime. And right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have John Amos that's going to be in the house. Mr. McDowell is going to be right here Friday night. We're going to have a great time. Great, great time. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for watching FaceTime with Todd Wharton. I hope to see you tomorrow night and Friday. And always remember, like Miss Rose said, please wear a mask. Practice social distancing, and if you don't believe in it, do it for your friends, do it for your family, and do it for your loved ones. We're all in this together, okay? And like I always say at the end of my show, to everybody out there, if you're not living a passionate life, then whose life are you living? Guys, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.